Hello survivors, long time no see. Welcome to Devlog 8 of Projekt Z Beyond Order. I know we have been silent for a long time, but we need to put our heads down to fully focus on making the game. And after some internal discussions, we feel like it's the best for the game to have some more time for additional polishing. We hope you understand, we just want to release a game that is up to our own standards, and since we are still a very small and new team working on such a huge project, we really need the time. However, since we don't want you to wait for too long, we will open up our focus test group for a wider audience. You can find a link in the description below to apply as a playtester in our closed testing environment. But please keep in mind that those tests will stay under NDA for the time being.
Well, a lot has happened since the last devlog, and we wanted to thank Maximum Entertainment and our fans for putting so much faith into the game. During the last Gamescom, we had the chance to let attendees play Projekt Z Beyond Order at our booth for the first time, and seeing so much positive feedback from you guys really showed us that we have something special here. We also wanted to say thank you to the Indie Arena and Unity for giving us the Best Game Made with Unity award during Gamescom. Alongside that, we even got nominated as Most Anticipated Game from Unity during their 16th Unity Awards event. But now, let me show you what we've been working on lately. Let's start with something big. Over the last few months we have made some drastic changes to the game design again to make it more consistent overall. The first thing we touched was the hideout. After much internal playtesting, we felt the building system just didn't fit with the overall design of the game. We also saw many players of our focus group not even using it, so we removed it and replaced it with a more fitting design. All structures in the hideout now have a reserved spot, meaning that when a player wants to build something, he can choose between those spots and build a shop in one of those building areas via the construction board. This change alone gave us many opportunities to improve the hideout in other ways, since we were limited by the player's ability to build and dismantle everything. After that change, we focused on redesigning the hideout's visuals and features in some ways, to give everything more life. For instance, every story NPC now has its own section that fits its narrative background. Another instance is the tutorial when joining the hideout for the first time. Since we developers can now build freely in the hideout without thinking about the player dismantling everything, we added a shooting range to the hideout that is not only super helpful for the tutorials, but also a great testing ground when you want to check out the weapons you just built at the workbench. Those design changes were definitely necessary, and we already feel way more comfortable with this iteration of the hideout. Some players might be disappointed by that change, but we as developers have to be open to big changes if something just does not work. One of the things we worked on was interaction animations. The problem was that every interaction in the game felt lifeless, so the goal was to make them way more dynamic and let the player feel that he's really interacting with the game world. So we added interaction animations for almost every interaction there is. Another thing that improved the gameplay and world was the introduction animations for boss enemies, like our Juggernaut. This animation type plays right before the player has to fight a boss, reducing the chance of players not spotting the enemy right away. We also made a lot of changes and improvements to our weapon system. One thing we never talked about was how the jams work in Projekt Z. Explaining the jams is actually pretty simple and goes hand in hand with one of the changes we made last year. Weapons from now on have durability. Don't worry, weapons cannot break completely, so they won't leave your inventory. The lower the weapon's durability, the higher the chance of the weapon jamming. To repair your weapons, you can simply go to the workbench and repair them for a few resources in exchange. Another feature we worked on was weapon upgrading. If you find a weapon and you don't want to change it every time you find a better one, you don't have to. That's why we added weapon upgrading. Every weapon now has 4 tiers. If you go to the workbench, you can upgrade those. After reaching tier 4, the 5th upgrade will upgrade the rarity of the gun. This means you don't have to find rare weapons to get them. You can also just upgrade them until you reach that stage, which can take longer in some cases. Let's move to the weapons. Over the last few months we've worked tirelessly on a bunch of new weapons, such as the Gustav 206, a semi-automatic rifle made largely of sheet metal, with a gas piston operating system. Additionally, we have reworked the M1897 along with the Kar 98. And the AS-44, a prototype Soviet assault rifle designed and developed by Alexei Sundayev in 1944-1945. We have also added the good old MG42, along with an overheating system that requires changing the barrels if you shoot for too long. And last but not least, a new melee weapon, the pipe. It's a pipe. With all of those weapons, we think we've added a great selection to the game's already implemented arsenal. But let us know which weapon you would love to see in the future. Zombies are another thing we worked on in the past, since they are the focal point of Projekt Z and all. And we just want to let you know that we've heard your feedback from the last devlog and trailers, that only officers running around as grunts feels just off. So, we decided to work on another grunt variant, which is a regular soldier. Our level design team also worked on a lot of improvements in terms of flow, lighting and collision polishing. Here are a few shots of one of the missions that got some complete reworked areas. We also barely discussed the characters and abilities, so let's discuss them a bit. First, let me give you a little update on the character intros. We are finally done with all the character introductions that you can see in the background right now. As you probably know, those will play whenever you start a new game with a new character, to find out how your character ended up on this island. Let's start with Alina. Since Alina is the medic of the 4 characters, she is equipped with a medical sniper that can heal other teammates. In addition, she also has the ability to heal herself. However, healing herself gives her one less syringe to shoot via the medic sniper, and she can only heal herself while she has the medic sniper out. Talking about medics, we have also worked on our down stage whenever you reach 0 HP. Another character you can choose from is Gustav. He is equipped with a stationary medicine machine gun that has a gas canister attached that can release gas to slow down zombies. Another bonus of using the medicine machine gun is that Gustav also has one self-heal ready to heal himself. We've also added a cool feature. When Hans shoots the gas with his flamethrower, the gas ignites and Gustav's gas turns into fire. The next character is our beloved Hans. Hans has a flamethrower that turns the undead to sweet barbecue. What a surprise. Curtis is the last character in our roster. He's equipped with a flare gun that can place traps to block off some paths. He's perfect for people who prefer to play alone. We obviously also worked on a lot of music in the past months. Take a listen.
Well, let's wrap up this devlog. Again, I wanted to thank our entire community and partners for putting so much faith into this project, and we really appreciate the excitement you have to play Projekt Z Beyond Order. We cannot wait to see you guys play together with us and kill the undead. With that being said, we will see each other very soon with some more exciting footage of Projekt Z Beyond Order. Auf Wiedersehen.